All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the Benchmade Proper with me. And as usual, we're going to analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this little knife. So Benchmade offers this one in different variants. You can find micarta scales, G10, carbon fiber, and the blade can be like in a clip point or ship foot. So you can, configure a little bit the appearance and the functionality of your knife. Now I've got installed some Flytanium scales, like titanium scales, produced by Flytanium, to give, a different look to this knife. I really prefer this stone-washed look here to the micarta, and it overall gives a cleaner and sleeker look, I think. This is a really thin and slim knife. In your pocket, it's very, very comfortable. Right away, you see that there's really nice lines around here. You see it's beautifully curved. I mean, the design is on point. It's really clean. Even the presentation side, as you can see, the screws are without the Torx holes. So it gives like a really nice overall sterile look. You can see the blade is absolutely centered, and tolerances are really nice. You see there's a pretty tight fit right here. So it's a pleasant look. You can notice the nail nick only on the right side of the blade. So it's easier to open from, this side, the right side. If you're a lefty, there's no nail nick here, so it's gonna be, a little bit tougher to do, but not a big deal. When you open the knife, you can see that the blade is really well designed. Has a nice flat here, just a little bit of belly here, with a nice wedge on the top. The stock, it's relatively thin, and also quite thin behind the edge. Something that I'm not in love with, it's logo placement here and S30V here. I mean, this is all right, acceptable, but this is, I'm not a fan of this one. Also, I'm not like a complete fan of the grind. I mean, it's a nice flat grind, but as you can see, it's not full flat. So full flat would have given a little bit more like slicey capability to this blade. But I mean, being the stock this thin, it's not gonna hurt. You can see that when you close the blade on the back, you have very, very minimal movement. I don't know if you can see, but the back spacer spring in the back doesn't really move a lot, and this is a really nice thing. So even when you open the knife, the look is not compromised. You're not gonna have like any spring, sticking out during the process. So this is a nice little detail. I don't know if you can see, but the liners have been skeletonized to reduce some weight. So that is another, little attention to the detail kind of thing that makes you think, yeah, okay, they were thinking when they designed this blade. So very, very nice. Regarding the sound, this is a slip joint, so there's no detent ball. It's two-handed only opening mechanism, and the sound you can modulate, like you can dose the strength with which you are opening the knife in a way so that the knife can be absolutely silent, like half stop, there's no sound, and you can do like very slow movement, of course, just make that sound almost disappear. When you close it, if you dose your force, you're going to be able to close the knife with no sound. Or if you just do like this, you're going to be able to hear the snappy sound. See? That's the noise it makes if you don't control the opening. If you do, it's very, very subtle. You can be really stealthy. You can open it and almost nobody will notice that you're gonna deploy a blade. When you close it and you don't control the blade, so you just let it go, the sound is very quiet, it's pretty low and discreet. So this can be really stealthy, but this feature, which I really appreciate, it's going to subtract from the action, the feeling of the action. Because, this knife overall has good ergo. Beside the fact that the nail nick is only on one side, it still gives you like an interesting feeling, because this is a traditional knife, being a slip joint. But with the titanium scale, with the S30V steel, it's using modern materials. So it's really appealing to that nostalgic person who still cares about, material improvement, material evolution used on a blade. So really interesting feeling here. As you can see, there's no pocket clip, so the feeling in your pocket is going to be really smooth. It's going to almost disappear. If you check the fit and finish, when you touch the back here, it's nice, it's flush, but it's not 100%. It's not perfect. You see, there's a little imperfection, but it's overall really well designed. Even the lanyard hole, it's interesting because, in order to create this one, they had to widen a little bit the back. So I think that this would have been better, a little bit slender to the end. It's just my opinion, would have been more balanced, but in the hand, that little bit more there gives you a little bit more control. So that's a nice feature overall. In your hand, when you hold the blade, the knife in the closed position is very, very smooth. It's very rounded. All around the surfaces are pretty smooth and pleasant to hold. The jimping here is really light. It's not, nothing useful, I would say. You can feel it, but your finger is gonna slide anyways. So something also regarding the feeling about this one is that when you open, you kind of need to use your nails. So you need to use the nail nick. You can pinch it like this, but you have to squeeze hard your fingers in order to be able to open the blade, to deploy the blade. It's not possible to open with one hand. There's no way you're able to pinch that strong to open. I mean, it's really, really hard to do. So you need two hands to close. When you are using the blade, if you are like pushing down with your thumb, since there's no lock, it's very easy to bend the blade a little bit towards the closed position. So the strength required in order to close here is way less than the strength required to open the blade. So I think it might be a concern, but due to the size of this blade, you're not gonna perform any heavy duty task with this one. It's gonna be like food prepping or, something, quite light because, you have no jimping, there's no lock. So you're not going to perform anything crazy. So I don't think that this is an issue, but it's something that you need to consider because the strength required in order to make this happen, it's not that much. So there you have it. This was my review of the Benchmade Proper. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.